proudly present a naked look at the party of family values, where GOP stands for and right to life takes a backseat to right to licentiousness. Republican Sexcapades, where real family values don't have a prayer. Republican Sexcapades. Hide the altar, boys, and cover the kiddies' ears. Here's today's edition of Republican Sexcapades with Cliff Schechter.
Young Turks, Republican Sexcapades with Cliff Schechter indeed. Hey Cliff, how are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Jake?
Pretty good, pretty good. Pretty excited about Iowa tonight. And I'm also excited about Republican hypocrisy when it comes to sex.
Yes.
All right. Cliff, you know, we're a little ahead of the times. Now everybody's buzzing about Richard Mellon's scaife and how he cheated on his wife with a prostitute. And he's basically come out and admitted it. But please, we covered that how many Republican Sexcapades ago?
Oh, my God. We do the hard work, no pun intended, of course, Jank, to get to these stories immediately for all of your listeners, because it's very important. And then these people come around now and talk about them?
Oh, please.
It's a little distressing, frankly. I think they're not doing their homework.
All right. Well, let's lead the way again. You got a great story about a Republican prosecutor down in Texas. Tell me all about it.
Oh, this is just the stuff that Republican Sexcapade dreams are made of right here. I mean, a moralizing, divorced adulterer, civil rights abuser, email destroyer. This guy's the best. Let's talk a little bit about Charles Rosenthal, Jr., who is Texas's most powerful prosecutor, district attorney of Harris County, which has got a couple million people, includes Houston. He is one of your favorite moralizing types, right? Very conservative Republican. What order should we even go into all the things that this guy has done? The main thing being that he, of course, a couple of years back argued in the Supreme Court. He argued in favor of Texas's law banning sodomy. If people remember the Lawrence v. Texas case. Mm-hmm. During which time, of course, he said that, let's get it from him. He said, Mr. Rosenthal said that there's a long tradition in the country of regulating sexual activity outside of marriage. Remember that phrase, outside of marriage. And that Texas has a right to set moral standards and can set bright line moral standards for its people. Well, that's what he believes, obviously, because he's now on his second wife, and he got sued for the fact of, a federal civil rights violation because a couple of guys were beaten up by cops, and they accused his office of looking the other way. And oops, during this lawsuit, during the discovery, some emails came out where, what do you know, he was cheating on his first wife with his secretary, which would seem to be outside of marriage, falling just under what he was talking about in Lawrence v. Texas. And this is almost sad, frankly, because, Republicans, it seems, need like a remedial class in how to talk dirty. Because, what is this? He's like, next time I see you, I want to kiss you behind your right ear. I mean, that's the best he could think of to write an email to this woman? Come on, Jank.
Well, you know what? I like how specific he is. I'm not only going to kiss you, I'm going to kiss you behind your ear, but not just any old ear, your right ear.
Exactly. The right is the special ear, apparently. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Not just any ear, the right ear. He also, your heart is mine, or some garbage like that. He of course, immediately accused. He's running for re-election for his third term as district attorney. He, of course, accused his opponent of bare-knuckle politics, and not thinking about his own bare testicle politics. Sorry, I just had to say that.
Cliff, is he? What's the situation with this secretary? He's banged her before. He's banging her again, or is it on again, off again, or has it been going on this whole time, and they just happen to find the emails because he got sued on this unrelated stuff?
I have to be honest with you, that they don't make that clear. They make it very clear that he was cheating on his first wife, who he later divorced, and is now with his second wife, of course. He's cheating on his first wife with his secretary.
Oh, so he's on to his second wife, and he cheated on his first wife with his secretary. We don't know if he's also cheating on his second wife with the secretary because he seems to be very much in love with her. I mean, all these notes are like, "Oh my God, I can't get enough of you," and your left ear and your, right quad,
there's
and
no going back.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so this guy's got wives and mistresses running around everywhere. But my favorite part of the story, Cliff, is you're right. He argues that case, the Lawrence case down in Texas, where he says we don't need a zone of privacy at all. To hell with privacy. And then when he got sued, he actually had the unmitigated gall to use the Lawrence case to say, "Hey, I got my zone of privacy."
Right. I mean, this is amazing because this takes hypocrisy, even for Republicans, I'd say to its highest level, which is he uses the fact that he's a crappy lawyer and lost the Lawrence v. Texas case, thankfully. He uses that because he argued that that states should be able to regulate personal sexual behavior, like, I don't know, cheating on your wife with a secretary, perhaps. He argued that, in his case. He lost his case, and now he's using the fact that that he lost that case to say, hey, remember the decision that there is a zone of privacy, and, I was wrong because I'm a moron? There's a zone of privacy for my 3,500 emails I've erased to try and protect myself in this federal civil rights suit that's going on against me. So, I mean, the hypocrisy on so many levels with this guy is, he's truly he's a Republican. That's what he is.
Cliff, if I was a judge in this case, I'd be like, look, you know what? I'm going to allow this argument, but only under one condition. You need to come to court and tell me, thank God for gay people, because they pursued the Lawrence v. Texas case and proved that we all need a zone of privacy. And now I, as a Republican, have to admit that I need my zone of privacy. So I want to thank the whole homosexual community in Texas. Now, if he says that, I'd say, all right, now you're allowed to make your argument. Go ahead.
I would absolutely agree with that. If he comes forward and says that and says, I was wrong, sodomy is a blessed event and should be allowed throughout the land, even in my first, second, and probably third and fourth marriages, then I'm okay with this guy then. But,
right. Well, I don't even think sodomy is necessarily a blessed event, but at least that it's allowed.
Oh, having a little fun, Jenks.
But, there have been occasions where it is. All right.
It can be a good thing. It can.
Oh, yeah. Well, believe me, I know. Did you know a lot of people don't know this? Sodomy is not just anal; it's also oral.
Yeah, it's pretty much anything that's not sex with your married partner. So the truth is you're arguing to outlaw sodomy. Well, that would outlaw some of Mr. Rosenthal's behavior, sadly, as well as make his emails public. I mean, this guy's whole life is based on the fact that his getting away with his personal life and professional life is based on the fact that he failed in his argument in Lawrence v. Texas.
Yep. All right, so now we go to the second story, which is really about kind of a Republican Sexcapades Hall of Fame. What is that about, Cliff?
Well, we need to look back, and I think I want to thank the Pencedo Review for doing this for us. They've started a actual Hall of Fame for GOP adulterers, and they have 10 nominees at the end of 2007. Some very interesting ones. I personally, the fact that they threw Ronald Reagan in there because that he's the object of a homoerotic male crush for just about every Republican out there. Mere mention of his name causes spontaneous orgasm on the right. And turns out Ronnie, unlike we thought, the family values man that he was and all that he preached, turns out that he committed adultery during his first marriage. Well, in fact, his first wife was married when he started dating her. And apparently he used to brag about all the women he woke up next to whose names he didn't know. So I thought it was cool they threw in Ronnie for a trip back down memory lane. They also grabbed Dick Morris. You may remember we already did that trip down memory lane because he was advising Mike Huckabee, who thinks, immorality and sin are just horrible, except for when the guy who's getting his toes sucked by prostitutes is advising him. And some other great guys, Ted Haggard. We have here Bob Allen, Richard Curtis, remember him? The state rep from Washington.
Yeah, what did Curtis do? Curtis goes by the wayside on people forget about Curtis a little bit.
Oh, he dressed up in women's clothing. He's a guy who supported all these bans on gay activity, adoption, marriage, and then he dresses up in women's clothing, goes out, picks up a prostitute who was nicknamed the Stallion.
Oh, the Stallion.
In a gay porn shop and goes for an all-night romp. And then when the guy tries to extort money from him, went to the cops but tried to keep it real quiet as to why he was there.
Oh, right. Curtis was the cheap one who tried to get the money back from the prostitute. Oh, he's the worst. The guy with
He's
the
the
stallion.
worst. I think he has to be an immediate inductee. Bob Allen, for the creativity, has to get in. For saying that he only hit on someone because in a bathroom in Florida because they were black and he was scared of them for that reason. I think there's a creativity value there. Richard Mellon Scaife, of course, is on this list, cheating on his second wife with a prostitute. He's the guy who spent all the money trying to dig up the dirt on Clinton. I'd say they have to be immediate inductees. I mean, we have our old friends here, Haggard and Vitter and Craig, because who can discuss Republican sexcapades without them? And sadly, Mr. Foley missed the cut from back in 2006.
You know what? I look at this, and the funny thing is, I just keep looking at it, and thinking, who is it? Who's like the biggest hypocrite of them all? Because you can make a compelling case for Reagan, because Reagan's the one who started all this crap, bringing the religious right into the Republican Party and the family values and stuff. Meanwhile, he used to brag about, I don't even remember the names of the women I was sleeping with while I was married. Congratulations, that's terrific. Richard Mellon Scaife, the guy dug up all this dirt on Bill Clinton's sex life while he's having like 18 different affairs, one with a prostitute. And then, of course, everybody knows the foot tapper, Larry Craig, then David Vitter with the prostitute down in New Orleans, Dick Morris with the prostitute while he's married, Ted Haggard, the pastor who became gay, and then Bob Allen, the guy in Florida, and Curtis, the guy who dresses up like a woman and gives oral to the stallion. It's a murderer's row of Republican hypocrites.
That's exactly it. This is the 1927 Yankees of adultery and sexual misbehavior in the Republican Party. And I got to hand it to the Penn Cedar Review here because it's impressive. Because from what you and I discuss every week on this show in 2007, there could be 50 more guys on this list, maybe 100, maybe 200. But they culled through all your just run-of-the-mill adulterers, and they found the truly, truly special cases.
I've made a decision. You know who I'm going to give it to, Cliff? It's a surprising choice. He was kind of an underdog. I guess they all are in some sense.
Downward dog of a sort, yes.
Right, but he made it up from behind, came from behind.
Well done.
And you would think that I'd go with one of the big names like, Ted Haggard or Larry Craig, who we've had so much fun with. But no, I'm going to give it to Bob Allen in Florida, a real dark horse here. And I'm not talking about the stallion. Because,
well done.
Because he had my favorite excuse of all time. He offered to blow an undercover cop for $20 in a bathroom in Florida after he vigorously opposed any kind of gay rights and tried to ban gay marriage in Florida. He goes to a bathroom, tries to give oral to an undercover black guy, and then when questioned about it, and he was going to pay him for it, right? When questioned about it, he said, well, he was black. I was so scared of him that I got on my knees and was ready to, service him and give him $20, even though I'm straight.
Right.
For that excuse, I think you got to win.
I think I'd go partially with you here and say I give him the co-prize because I agree with you. I think underdogs deserve their due. A bunch of these guys had big names already. To push yourself into that front line when no one knew who you were, I have to throw out Richard Curtis, too. Because I think the trying to ban gay adoption, gay marriage, and you're actually on a Republican retreat where by day you're planning policy, whatever that's like for Republicans, but by night you're putting on the fishnet stockings and you're putting on all the makeup, going to gay porn shops, getting hammered, picking up a guy named the Stallion, and waking up in a hotel not really knowing what you did with him, really knowing, but sort of claiming you didn't know, and then going to the cops about it and thinking that it wouldn't get out somehow.
No,
I think these two guys, to me, they're the two that really deserve induction immediately.
No, you're right, Cliff. They got to be co-winners because, the image that burns into my head is the idea of Curtis giving a speech about how terrible gay adoption and gay marriage is as he's wearing women's panties and thinking, I can't wait to get that stallion inside me tonight.
I'm going to ride that stallion like no one has before. I'm going to turn that stallion into Secretariat. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, a little too well. All right. Cliff Schechter from BraveNewFilms.org, another rousing edition of Republican Sexcapades. Thanks, man. We appreciate it.